Building an art business on your own can feel overwhelming. You might often feel as though you're juggling two full-time jobs, one that involves creating and continually improving your art, and the other is the business side, which requires an entirely different skill set, like marketing your work and managing your accounts and finances. On top of that, many of us are trying to grow our businesses while balancing other full-time or part-time jobs and family responsibilities. It's no wonder it can sometimes feel like an impossible task. In this video, I'll share some time management strategies and mindsets that have helped me balance the journey of growing my business whilst also raising a young family and working at my part-time job. My first tip is to take an honest look at the time you have available. You want to be shifting your mindset from I don't have any time to I have plenty of time. Start by outlining exactly how much time you have available each day. Be specific so that you can set realistic goals about what you can accomplish. For example, maybe you have a few hours each evening after you finish work and the kids are in bed, or maybe you could dedicate 1 or 2 full days each week if you work part-time. Use a calendar or a planner to block out these hours for either creating your art or managing the business side of things, and then calculate your total available hours each week, month and year. It's really important to be disciplined about using the time for your creative goals if you want to see consistent progress. Of course, unplanned events are going to occasionally interfere, but try and do your best to stick to the schedule. For example, my kids go to bed at 7:30 p.m. and I go to bed at 10:30. So I have 3 hours available and I could spend this time sat on the sofa watching Netflix, but it's more important to me to work on building my business. Of course, I enjoy some TV from time to time or an evening out with friends, but it's definitely not every single night. Remember that if you stick to your schedule, you will get to your goals more efficiently. Once you've calculated your available time, you then want to set some goals using a scheduling template. Sometimes selling your art can take even more time than creating it. There are countless tasks that you are required to do to promote your work, build your brand, and connect with potential buyers. Even the best art needs effective marketing to reach an audience. Without it, no one is going to see your work. Creating the art itself is also very time intensive, not to mention tasks like studying new techniques, generating new ideas, taking workshops, and observing other artists. Given the countless number of possibilities and priorities, it's helpful to set a few achievable goals for the whole year. Consider setting yourself 3 main goals that will balance both your creative growth and your business development. Start by defining a broad annual goal and then break this down into specific, measurable targets for each month and week. So I am going to use an example, and let's say I've calculated I have 30 hours available a week to devote to my art business. On a quick side note, I received these watercolour paints to try, and I never pass up the chance to explore new art supplies. This isn't a paid ad and it's not an affiliated link, but it's just a recommendation for something that I genuinely have enjoyed using. It's a really lovely little set. Each pan comes individually wrapped and you have a little swatch card that accompanies the set. I've used the paints to create another Christmas card design and I'll share a few snippets with you now. Anyway, back to our goal setting. So my first goal is going to be build a steady income from commissions. So that is my yearly goal, and I will then want to break this down into a monthly goal, and that will be to complete 2 commissions each month. So I have decided that I'm going to devote 7 hours to painting the commissions, roughly 1 hour to communicating with clients, things like updating them with progress, discussing ideas and getting feedback from them, and 2 hours to finishing touches. This includes things like varnishing, packaging, and preparing the painting for delivery. My rationale behind these numbers is that each commission takes me approximately 10 hours to complete. So my schedule provides a realistic buffer to ensure that I'm creating high quality and timely work. In order to get these commissions, my second goal is going to be to market and promote myself online. And my monthly goal is to increase my online presence by growing my website visits and social media engagement. And I've come up with a number here. I've come up with increase by 5%. 1 hour will be devoted to updating and maintaining my website, things like keeping my portfolio up to date and writing blog posts. 2 hours will be spent on social media engagement, posting my own content, responding to messages and interacting with followers. And 8 hours will be used to develop and upload new YouTube content. My third and final goal is to grow as an artist and create a body of original artwork to sell. This is the yearly goal. The monthly goal is to complete 1 original artwork and to build a collection of 5 paintings to sell. I've then broken this down week by week. I will spend 1 hour on idea generation and sketching out for new pieces, 7 hours painting, and 2 hours on my personal skills development. So things like watching tutorials, studying other artists, and exploring any competitions that I can enter and other kind of growth opportunities. You may have more or less time than this, so tailor your goals to be SMART, that's SMART, and each letter relates to how you should be setting your goals. If you've not heard of it before, then maybe go and do some research. While you don't need to strictly adhere to the exact times that you set, having this framework provides a structure and will keep you motivated on a day-to-day basis. Try as best you can to stick to your daily schedules. A little every day can make a huge difference. I've done a whole video on how just 20 minutes a day can compound over time, and you can watch it here. Schedule easier tasks for when you're feeling tired and save your high energy periods for more challenging work. If you're more alert in the morning, then focus on the tougher tasks. Then night owls might prefer leaving these for later in the evening. For me, my brain definitely starts to switch off at around 9 o'clock in the evening, so I set aside simple tasks for after that time if I'm still working. Things like importing video footage from my phone, from me filming that day, or organising my receipts and updating my business expenses spreadsheets. I often combine these tasks with relaxing and watching TV on the sofa. Think about turning your daily tasks that you've set yourself into habits by making them something you do frequently and consistently. One effective way of doing this is through something called habit stacking. This involves adding one of your new tasks to an already established routine. So for example, if you have children like me and you follow a bedtime routine of bath, pyjamas, reading a book and saying goodnight, you could add your new task right onto the end of this routine. After saying goodnight, you could go straight to your room and put your painting clothes on and then go and paint for an hour or two. Or you could grab your laptop and spend 20 minutes doing some tasks before you get ready to go out, or you go and sit on the sofa and relax and watch telly. By linking these tasks to existing habits, you'll find it easier to stick to them regularly. This one might be a bit controversial, but try embracing a little chaos. Let the laundry pile up now and then. Not everything has to be perfect. If a task only requires 5 minutes, then don't let it stretch to 10. This isn't about neglecting the important things in life, but it's about recognizing that your art is important too, and you shouldn't feel guilty about finding 20 minutes here or there to focus on it. Consider asking a friend to watch your kids, or take a half day at work and use the other half to work on your business. Learn to say no. You don't have to accept every invitation, and just because you're working on your business from home doesn't mean you're not working as seriously as you would in a 9-to-5 job. Set boundaries and make sure family and friends understand and support your priorities. use cues in your routines to help you stay on track with your goals. So, using the example of your bedtime routine with your kids, maybe lay out your painting clothes on your bed, and when your kids change into their pajamas, that's your cue to put on your painting clothes. Alternatively, you can place them by your bed and set an alarm for an hour before you need to get up for work or to wake your kids up in the morning. When the alarm goes off, get straight out of bed and put your painting clothes on. This is your cue to paint for an hour. It makes it a more natural part of your morning routine. And speaking of routines, these can be a really powerful tool. Each evening I've made it part of my routine to jot down any to-dos or thoughts that are on my mind just before I go to bed. In the morning, I start my day off with a coffee straight away. Our coffee machine is set on a timer, so it's ready to go as soon as I get up. Whilst I drink my coffee, I look at my notes that I've made from the night before and I organise and prioritise them. If I've got enough time, I start my tasks straight away before the rest of the house wakes up. This simple routine has become an integral part of my morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about procrastination. You might think that this is a negative word, but research has actually shown that there are benefits to what's known as positive procrastination. This approach involves intentionally delaying tasks until closer to their deadline, in contrast to negative procrastination, which is where tasks get postponed unintentionally due to poor time management. Positive procrastination may not suit everyone, but it works well for me. I find that when I focus on more immediate, urgent tasks, I feel less pressured, and I sometimes even have those aha moments about the tasks that I've postponed intentionally. Similar to the kind of ideas and thoughts you get while you're doing something routine, like doing the washing up or taking a shower. Keeping a small journal or the notes app on your phone is helpful for writing down any ideas you have in these moments. If you're interested in finding out more about positive procrastination, there's been loads of research done on it, so maybe go and have a more in-depth read. And lastly, figure out your why. Sometimes when it feels overwhelming, you might feel like giving up. In these moments, thinking back to your reasons for doing this can make the entire process worthwhile. Reflect on why you create your art or why you want to start and grow a business. Try to dig deep and be as specific as you can. For instance, instead of saying, because I enjoy it and I'd love to do it full time, consider saying, I have a drive within me to create and I want to share that with the world. Clarifying your why will also help you define your main business goals. If you need to make a certain amount of money each month to reduce your hours at another job, then align your goals with this accordingly. Try to get specific about exactly how you're going to earn that amount of money, and then focus your tasks that will bring you closer to that success.